It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but
It's
isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
It's not every day that we get to witness a verbal beatdown that can only be compared to an intellectual demolition derby. Enter Sunny Hostin, who thought she was walking into a friendly little debate on The View. Except Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly had other plans. I mean, this was supposed to be a conversation, right? But it quickly turned into a masterclass in intellectual curb stomping. Think of it like watching a house of cards collapse in real time. Except instead of cards, it's Sunny's usually unshakable moral superiority. Oh, Sunny, you're in trouble. Sunny comes out swinging with her usual brand of I'm a lawyer, and I'm right because I'm morally superior approach. But what she didn't count on was Bill Maher's dry sarcasm or Megyn Kelly's cold precision. It's like watching a hamster try to fight a tiger. One is sprinting around on a wheel, all energy and fluff. The other, a predator with a hunger for logic and facts. The clash was glorious. If you're as stunned as we are, hit that like button, subscribe for more jaw-dropping updates, and drop a comment. Who do you think's getting exposed next? Now, at first, Sunny was all confident, leaning into her lawyer persona, ready to lecture everyone on injustice and her superior perspective. It was textbook Sunny, confident, poised, and ready to play the moral authority. But the second Bill Maher shot her a look that could freeze lava, and Megyn Kelly countered with a fact bomb that actually made sense. Sunny's composure began to crack. Breaking news: Sunny Hostin's law degree now under review. Sunny, never one to back down, tried to flex those law credentials. I'm a lawyer, people, she declared, as if her law degree had some magical powers that could save her from a fact avalanche. The only thing that came to her rescue, though, was a correction from The View's producers. Yep, that's right. They had to issue multiple corrections after Sunny's claims were fact-checked and quickly shredded to pieces. Oh, and side note. Sources say Sunny's dog is now in therapy after witnessing her owner's verbal knockout on live TV. Just a rumor, but we're not ruling anything out. Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly, the intellectual Avengers. Let's talk about Bill Maher and Megyn Kelly for a second. Because these two weren't just here for a chat. They were on a mission. Their combined forces were like a slow-motion car crash that you couldn't look away from. They didn't just disagree with Sunny's points. They systematically dismantled them. Maher came in with that signature combination of cold, calculated logic and sarcasm that everyone knows and loves. He didn't yell. He didn't flail. He just spoke calmly, dropped a few facts, and let them land with surgical precision. Sunny couldn't even get her words out fast enough before Bill Maher was like, "Oh, you thought that was a strong argument? Let me gently set this fact in your lap and you can sort it out." And then Megyn Kelly. Oh my God. If you thought Maher was calm, Kelly took the prize for the most stoic, I don't need to raise my voice to own you performance. She wasn't there to yell. No. She was there to slice through Sunny's tangled mess of ideas with a smile that said, "You know this is going to end badly for you, right?" It was like watching a grown-up version of that one scene in every courtroom drama where the defense lawyer tries to bluster their way out of something, only for the prosecutor to lean in, drop a bomb of logic, and watch the defendant's face turn pale. Cue dramatic music. Oh, come on. Netflix couldn't script this mess. At this point, even Netflix couldn't script this mess. The intellectual back and forth went from serious to slapstick as Sunny's arguments turned into an absolute hot mess. Sunny's usual trick, turning everything into a lecture on injustice, was like a misplaced weapon in this intellectual battlefield. She's out here throwing out buzzwords like moral compass and justice like confetti. But Maher and Kelly were too busy dismantling her logic piece by piece to even notice. Megyn Kelly simply asked her to back up her claims with solid reasoning. You could almost hear the crickets in the background as Sunny scrambled to respond. Sunny then attempted to save face by trying to outshout them. Oh, the desperation. You know things are about to go downhill when shouting becomes your only defense. This, of course, turned the conversation into complete chaos. People at home were probably wondering, is this a debate or a live reality TV meltdown? Will Sunny start crying? Is there a producer off-screen telling them to calm down? The whole thing felt like an old-school battle of logic versus emotion, except Sunny's emotions weren't getting her anywhere. Maher and Kelly stayed cool and collected, the true intellectuals in the room, while Sunny cranked up the volume and still couldn't land a solid hit. Breaking news. Sunny's argument now. Under investigation for fraudulent logic. But wait, there's more. As Sunny doubled down, desperately trying to salvage her decimated arguments, sources close to the debate say her logic has now been placed under investigation for potential fraud. Experts are still baffled at how such a high-profile attorney could let her reasoning self-destruct so spectacularly on live TV. Investigations are ongoing, but one thing's for sure. Sunny days are not ahead for this debate. The moment of truth. Sunny's argument dismantled. Sunny's final move in the debate was to try to make her arguments emotional. You know, pull the heartstrings, get the audience to feel for her. But here's the thing. Maher and Kelly didn't flinch. They stayed calm, collected, and fact-driven. And that's when we all saw the greatest divide of all, the difference between a well-constructed argument and a performance. While Sunny was out here playing the role of the emotional advocate, Maher and Kelly were all about reason and logic. Their facts stood tall, while Sunny's emotional appeal crumbled like a badly constructed house of cards. It's like a bad sitcom at this point. You know where it's going, but you're not sure whether to cringe or laugh at how absurd it is. But you know what? You can't look away. So we're all sitting there, popcorn in hand, watching as Sunny's moral high ground gets swept out from under her feet by two people who were clearly just there to set the record straight. And just like that, Sunny Hostin's intellectual integrity crumbled faster than an influencer's reputation during a scandal. She's out here writing fan fiction about herself, trying to make us all believe in her moral authority like it's some sacred truth. But here's the thing. We're all just forced to read it. We didn't ask for this plot twist, but now we're stuck with it. The entire debate turned into a tragicomic performance, and in the end, Sunny just didn't have the stamina to keep up. So basically, Sunny Hostin is out here writing fan fiction about herself. And we're all just forced to read it. And there you have it. Sunny Hostin's grand emotional finale fizzled out like a balloon with a slow leak. She tried to wrap herself in the cloak of moral superiority, but it just wasn't enough to mask the fact that Maher and Kelly were playing a different game entirely. They weren't here for the theatrics. They were here to lay down the facts and the truth. It's always harder to argue with cold, hard logic than with a heart-wrenching sob story. At the end of the day, it wasn't even about winning the debate. It was about who could hold their ground, who could make their case without resorting to a performance. And while Sunny might have gotten a few gasps with her emotional appeals, Maher and Kelly walked away with the real victory: intellectual credibility. So here we are, still stuck with the aftermath of a debate that turned into a theatrical mess. But hey, that's the price you pay when you try to make us believe in a storyline we never signed up for. Sunny's moral high ground? Shot down. And now we're all left watching, with no choice but to read the fan fiction of her political career.